100 days of hardcore Minecraft, but it's in a snowy tundra. In this video I get up to making some really cool things like an igloo and a giant snowman. Be sure to watch all the way through to the end. This is 100 days of hardcore Minecraft, but it's in a snowy tundra. In the last video, over 93% of people who watched the video were not subscribed, so let's see if we can change that by hitting that subscribe button. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the video. Day 1. I spawned in and instantly spotted a pillager tower. Before going to explore it, I decided to grab some tools in order to fight off the pillagers. I infiltrated the tower by stealing the wheat blocks and looted the chest upstairs. Next, I spotted an abandoned portal next to a village and ventured over to gather some loot. I decided to take over this house in the village and use it as my own. Day 2. I started going mining today to gather a small amount of iron, enough to get a full set of armour and tools. I crafted some torches with the coal I found. This was useful for when I eventually found a cave. I headed back to craft some armour before I explored further into the cave, and I was looking good. In the cave I found lots of materials such as gold and redstone, but I didn't come across any diamonds, which was unfortunate. Day 3. So I have a ton of ore now, but I need some coal in order to smelt it all, so I headed back down into the mine. In the snow biome, trees are fairly rare, so I decided to chop down all the trees around the village, try and collect all the saplings in order to make a little forest. I did come across another igloo though, as well as finding another village. Whilst venturing around the village, it turned night, so I spent the night in the village. Day 4. I stole all this guy's floor because it was made out of wool, it'd be useful. I also grabbed a bunch of trees around the village. I found yet another tower. I think in the snowy area the structures must be pretty common because there's a lot of flat land. I actually got a crossbow from this tower, which is quite cool, and spotted a third village, which turns out was abandoned, which was actually quite rare. Next to the village was a portal, which had some pretty good loot inside, so I grabbed it and headed back. Day 5. I was still at the abandoned village today and looted everything and started heading home. Just to show you how common villages are, with not even max render distance I can see 4 villagers from just this one spot. I planted a bunch of trees near my own village, so they could grow. As well as this, I wanted to make a cow and sugarcane farm for an enchanting table. There was actually a villager spawned cow farm next to the house, which was really useful. I didn't have to go find any cows. Day 6. I crafted a ton of torches as well as pickaxes, and headed down into the mine to try and discover my first few diamonds. I think in 1.17 the best level now for finding diamonds is level 5, because I think the lower down you are the better. I adventured around some cool looking caves and came across a new deep slate block, but didn't find any diamonds. However, I did find a diamond. Yes, a singular one. That is so unlucky to find. Day 7. Today was a pretty simplistic day. I spent a while mining trees that I planted in order to get some wood to make some wooden fences. I started clearing away some land to build my bigger house, as well as some big farms. I wanted it all to be close together, so I won't have to travel very far. Day 8. I was still working on the land today, and was taking down a small mountain in order to smooth out the land. And I got a ton of dirt from this. I started working on making a wheat farm, not only for my food, but for the cows, so I can breed them and expand my cow army. Day 9. I finished building the wheat farm today, and then went to destroy some grass to get some seeds. I got about 25, which isn't bad, and as the wheat grew, I'd harvest it to get more wheat seeds. I also planted some potatoes and carrots because there was a lot of spare space. I'd probably be better off eating these rather than the wheat, so all the wheat can go towards the cows. Day 10. I prepared for a big mining trip. It could take a long time to find diamonds, and I wanted to make sure I could find some on this trip. So I said a big mining trip, but after about 2 minutes I discovered a vein of 8, which is incredibly lucky. So with these, I can now make an enchanting table and a pickaxe, which is all I really wanted for the moment. Day 11. I crafted myself that enchanting table I was talking about, as well as a pickaxe made out of diamonds. I also expanded the sugarcane farm more because I needed more bookshelves for the enchanting table. Do you think if I put this banner up the villagers would be annoyed? Oh, wow. He clearly disapproves. I better take this one down. Day 12. I headed back down into the mine today. I enchanted my pickaxes just so we get efficiency 1 so it'd be a bit quicker. I eventually came across a cave and decided to follow it and came across yet another vein of 8 diamonds. I decided to not mine it for the moment because I'd come back hopefully when I had fortune 3, so I'd be able to get more diamonds. Day 13. I got back to working on the land today. This is where I want to build my house. I'm doing this to pass the time while the cows breed and the sugarcane grows, so I can get enough to build a full bookshelf. Day 14. I was still working on the land today and it was a very repetitive day. My plan is to have a few large farms where I can plant all my wheat, sugarcane, potatoes and carrots separately. I'll be able to trade with the villagers at some point to get emeralds. As I said, I'm still working on breeding the cows as well. Day 15. I'm going to make a proper sugarcane farm today so I can speed up the production of the bookshelves. This is because the one at the moment isn't really that good looking, and it doesn't work very well. I was going to make all the farms roughly the same size and design. Day 16. It doesn't look too bad, I just really hate the water will freeze in the snowy biomes, so I have to put slabs over them with torches on top, so it doesn't freeze, it stays as water. The cow farm was slowly growing. I feel like we're approaching the needed amount, so hopefully it'll be done in the next few days. We need about 45 leather in total. Day 17. I was placing more dirt today and it was very repetitive. However, I do want to go into the Nether sometime soon. That'll be fun, because I want to get some glowstone to replace the slabs in the farms. But for the moment, I was just mining away on the hills. Day 18. I kind of realised if I'm just buying time waiting for the cows to breed, I might as well go get some experience and try and get to level 30 or even higher. I also cut myself my first jack of potatoes today, which will be a good source of food for the foreseeable future. Day 19. I headed down into the mine to try and gather some obsidian to make the portal. I could make a portal down in the mine quite easily, however I didn't want to make one on the surface because it would be easy to access. And I wanted it to be near the house. I kind of also realised I had a ton of obsidian from the abandoned portal chests, so I didn't actually need to go mining. Anyway, I made the portal and headed through. What a terrible spawn location. It was in the middle of a chalk biome, so I headed to look for a normal nether biome in order to find some quartz to reach level 30. I did find a bunch of quartz and reached level 28, which would be fine because I'll be up to level 30 from killing all the cows eventually. Day 20. I kept gathering the sugarcane as well as chopping down a bunch of trees because I want to make the new house partially out of wood. That's my next big plan. However, I also want to make the house out of plain stone because I think it goes really well with spruce wood. I replanted the forest as well. Day 21. Now that everywhere around here is flat, I can start finally building the house. This is the main reason why I gathered all the wood. I don't really have a plan for the house, so I'm going to try a few different designs. I also made 6 furnaces so I can smelt all the cobblestone as fast as possible. Day 22. I tried a few different designs for the house. I wasn't really a big fan of anything I made though. By the end of the day I was at this point and I really didn't like the design for this house. I went for a modern design but it didn't really work for the blocks I had. So I decided to tear it all down and start again tomorrow. Day 23. So I went back to work on the house today and I tried this design that I liked a lot better. It looked fairly good and I needed a bunch of stone to complete it though. This house was only going to be for me though. I would eventually build something separately for the villagers. This is how it was at the end of the day. Day 24. By now I definitely had enough cows for the amount of leather I needed. However, I did need somewhere to place the enchanting table. I got to level 30 by killing the cows, and decided that I'd place the enchanting table in my new house. I kept trying to reset the enchantments by doing level 1 enchants, but I never could get anything good on my pickaxe. I ran out of experience, so I decided a cool idea would be to go get quartz in the Nether. I got a ton of quartz. Day 25. I spent overnight in the Nether getting quartz. I got a lot of it, up to level 35 in fact. When I returned, I headed over to the enchanting table hoping luck would be on my side. Unfortunately not. I got really unlucky and decided to take my anger out on expanding my house up a few layers. It was coming along really well. I did like it. I would eventually strip the logs. Day 26. I still need to get a ton more XP. It was a big priority to try and get Fortune 3 on a pickaxe. I bred some of the cows to try and reach back up to level 30. However, it kept showing me efficiency on my diamond pickaxe. I headed back to the Nether to get yet more quartz for experience. Day 27. I was up to level 34 at this point and have finally got Fortune 3. This allowed me to go get those 8 diamonds I left in the mine before. I also grabbed some coal on the way because it was another good source of experience, and also I needed it because I was smelting so much cobblestone for the house. I got 16 diamonds in total from the Fortune 3, which probably wasn't great because that's only 2 per ore. This means I will have to go mining for some more diamonds because I didn't get the needed 24 diamonds. Day 28. All of that mining yesterday got me a lot of cobblestone, which is useful. I'll smelt it to build the house. I decided to use the diamonds I got yesterday as well to get the chestplate, sword and boots crafted. I managed to get protection 4 on the chestplate, which was really good and helped me survive a lot more attacks. So yet again I'm going to need more experience to now enchant all of my armour as well as my other tools. By this point I had a lot of spare crops and I needed to use them for something. I want to set up a way of trading with the villagers by building yet another building for it. It'd be next to my house at the moment. Day 29. At this point I had a lot of copper. I decided to place the blocks outside to see if they will erode. I don't really know why I did this, I just really like the look of the eroded copper block. Today was a very repetitive day of continually building the house. By the end of the day I was working on the roof. Day 30. I was still working on the roof today and it was a very simple design. Glass is going to be very annoying to get because there's no beaches or deserts in the snow. However, there is little ponds, so that would probably be my solution. I also did like how the house was coming along. It was quite a barn feeling, and I kind of liked that. Day 31. I stripped the support beams that were made from logs so it'd go better with the planks. And it looks fairly good. All I need to do now is sort out the windows. And it looks good. I did stairs to the top and bottom of each one. It makes the windows stand out more. Oh, and I also added a front door. Day 32. I started working on the floor of the house. I decided to be basic and just go with spruce planks. I also added some lights. It wasn't anything special apart from around the front door. I decided to go with some lanterns. Day 33. I decided to craft a diamond shovel and enchant it with level 30. I got pretty lucky. I got Unbreaking 3 and Efficiency 4. I did this because I'm very lazy and I wanted to go get some more glass, so I went to get some sand. I also spent the day moving chests over like I said yesterday, and preparing to move into the new house. The storage wasn't anything special, it was very basic, it looks like this, but it'll do for the moment. I did also smelt the glass and start adding the windows. Day 34, I decided to add some paintings around the new house, give it more of a homely feeling, as well as transferring a lot of the items between the two houses. This gave me a chance to add a path to give it more of a nicer feeling. Day 35, I was still in need of some more diamonds, so I prepared to go on yet another mining trip to hopefully find the last few diamonds. Whilst in the mine, I grabbed everything that would give me XP, as well as grabbed in a lot of coal. It didn't take me long to find 5 diamonds, after mining it with a fortune, until I found even more, another 8 vein of diamonds, ending with 24 diamonds. I easily had enough now, and I even had some more at home as well. I crafted the remaining tools and items needed, and got to level 30 by breeding the cows and enchanting my axe. I actually got very lucky, I even got silk touch on my axe. Day 36, I started by killing some cows and setting up some smokers in order to cook the meat. I decided to grab a ton of wood for a new building. This would be the villager building. It'd be a very similar design, so I needed quite a bit of wood for the roof. I ended up getting 4 stacks in total, which was useful. Day 37, I started working on the new house for the villagers. I do need a lot more stone though, so I went mining to try and get some more. I got about 2 stacks of cobblestone, which I started to smelt in the furnaces. Day 38, I started smelting all the cobblestone, carried on working on the house, and started working on the roof by the end of the day. Day 39, I made a lot of lanterns to put around the area, as well as working on the floor inside the new villager's house. I then added glass for the windows. I added fences on the inside so the villagers wouldn't be able to just walk out the building, which I just didn't want them to do. I expanded the path over to the new house, and it was looking good, so far the little village. Day 40, I decided to make a stone axe to strip the wood, since I didn't want to use my durability on my diamond one. It looked cool and I needed some lights, so I did these little street lights that were copied from the main village. I ended the day with harvesting the new farms. Day 41, my next goal was I had to get all my new tools and armour enchanted. I enchanted my sword and got fire aspect 2, which I tested on the cows. It worked well. I also realised I should probably make a new cow farm because they don't all fit in the old one, and because it's quite far away from the new village. I settled on this little area here. Day 42, I decided to head to the Nether again to get yet more quartz for experience. To my surprise, I found a polar bear in the Nether, which was a weird sight. I've never seen one of these before. Whilst heading home, I spotted a Nether fortress as well, which was quite cool. I'd explore it in a future days. Day 43, I managed to get all the stuff from the Nether, so I had a lot of experience. I got a few new things, such as a silk touch pickaxe, infinity on my bow, and protection 4 leggings. I decided to head back once again to the Nether to get more quartz. But this time I would silk touch it, because I wanted to be more efficient for the experience. I also spent a little while exploring the Nether fortress. Day 44. When I returned, I got to work mining all the ore I mined. And I managed to get full protection 4 armour, so nothing was going to kill me, especially no creepers. I also decided to go silk touch some more stone rather than continuing to smelt cobblestone. I worked on the new cow farm, and I don't know why I wanted a sunken one, because, I don't know, it was something different, and I like the little design of it. Day 45. I finished off the cow farm today and moved everyone in. I'm also going to move some of the villagers into their new house. I decided to make the house look more homely by adding some composters and some beds. Day 46. It was taking a long while for the villagers to move in. I made a long path from the village to the house. They were only doing a few blocks at a time, but luckily they decided to run the last few blocks. I gave them some beds as well as some extra bread, so hopefully they'll expand their family. I came across a new village while hunting for beds, and spent the night there. Day 47. When I returned from my bed search, a child had appeared. I'm not sure why they put the beds like this. At some point I will want multiple different types of villagers, such as librarians. I did need a ton of bread though, so I worked on the farms. Day 48. I'm going to make a better farm for the carrots and potatoes, since at the moment they all share one. I started working on 2 new farms. It would be exactly the same as the old one. I turned the old one into a full wheat farm as well. Day 49. Construction carried on, and I added some fences and water, and ready to move everything over. Day 50. I started planting the crops in the new areas. It took a long while to do. I managed to get up to level 30 by breeding some cows, but I was struggling to get sharpness on my new sword. Day 51. I started adding yet more paths. The village was expanding quickly. I also wanted to make a map. I'll make a map in every 100 days video. It does look really strange since there's not snow everywhere. It hasn't snowed in a long while. Hopefully it will soon. Day 52. So I still need more villagers, so that means I need more bread. One villager offered a trade of 6 bread for 1 emerald. I decided to take him up on his offer. So I got 30 bread off him and then instantly gave it back so he'd breed with other villagers. I think it'd be really cool to have a pet polar bear. I've never had one before. I headed back to the Nether to carry on exploring the fortress. Day 53. I started trading with the villagers to make my first few emeralds. I was still working on getting sharpness on my sword as well. I was getting really unlucky. I'm not sure why, but I set up this small brewing area in my house, as well as collecting a ton of new wood. Day 54. The farms were growing again, so I went to harvest them. Whilst doing this, a wandering trader appeared. He didn't offer anything good. I did steal his llamas though, so he gave me some leads. I decided that since I wanted a pet polar bear, and now I have a lead, I can easily do this. However, I do need somewhere for him to live. Polar bears live in igloos, right? Well, this one's gonna. I went to gather some snow. Day 55. I've never built an igloo before, so I planned the layout with dirt. I eventually decided on design and got to work building it. It actually looks pretty good. I added some lights on the inside on the floor. Day 56. Obviously the next step was to move the polar bear in, but we are missing something, a name. Do you think you guys could come up with one in the comments for him? I also added snow layers around the igloo to give it extra detail. I ran out, so I went to get a ton more snow. Day 57, I placed the remaining snow and went to sort out the farms. The villager population had massively grown as well today, which was good. As well as this, an iron golem had appeared. I was still working on the farm so I could get some more emerald. Day 58, I traded with the new villagers. Trading gives a lot of experience, so I was able to do an installed enchantment. That I managed to get sharpness 4, finally. I do want to do another one so I could combine them though, to get sharpness 5. At this moment I have 6 different enchants across 4 different swords. I'm close to getting a maxed out sword. Last part of the day was spent trying to turn some of the villagers into librarians and get mending. Day 59, I carried on trying to get a mending villager, and finally got it. I also got an unbreaking 3 villager which would be very useful. After trading with the villagers, I got 5 mending books that I'd be able to put on all my armour and my pickaxe. I decided to do a bit of village maintenance. I bred the cows, updated the map, and added paths around the area. Day 60, headed back to the Nether today in order to get some more quartz again. As usual, I used my silk touch pickaxe to gather it. I could really do with a better way of getting experience. Day 61, I ended up getting a lot of quartz and placed it all down in sort of a cube form. The first thing I combined was my sword, and well, you could say I have a few enchants on this sword. After this I spent a while putting mending on all my armour. It only cost 8 levels to put it on all of my armour, which was pretty good. Day 62, I did want to add unbreaking 3 on my chestplate. Didn't know I'd essentially have maxed out armour. Well, it'd all have protection 4 and mending and unbreaking 3. As well as this, by the end of the day I put mending on both my pickaxes and repaired them by half the durability. Day 63, I want to try and get some axolotls for pets. They're a cool new addition to Minecraft and I want them. So for axolotls you need to make a large pool of water with no light below sea level. So I wanted to do this underground because it would make it easier. I started making a little shack and dug down into the ground. Day 64, I carried on mining my axolotl pool today. I also realised my pickaxe was very low durability. Day 65, I was still at it today and then my pickaxe broke. Luckily I have my other one, but now I don't have a silk touch pickaxe, which was a really dumb thing to do and I don't know why I did it. I should have been paying more attention. I filled it up with water and decided to leave it so axolotls can spawn. On a good note, I have a lot of stone now though. Day 66, I do have an absolute ton of dirt for some reason, so I decided to flatten out another bit of land. In between the village and my actual village. I could maybe build something cool on here. I have a few different ideas. Day 67. I started working on one of the farms today, as well as trading with the villagers for emeralds, since I spent all the ones I already have on mending books. I then spent the rest of the day placing the rest of the dirt down. Day 68. The land was all flat now. As well as this, I went to check on the axolotls and some had spawned, which is really cool, but I need somewhere for them to live. I set up a little pool. I'll make this better in the future though. I went back to check and even more had spawned. I had 4 in total now. This was really cool. The family was joining really quick. Day 69. I want to make a cool ice path around the little village. Not sure why, it's pretty useless if I'm honest, but it'd be a cool addition to have. As well as this, I want to make a snowman. Because, again, why not? I got the snowman's body done. I went to plan out the racetrack. Whilst I was doing this, I also went to check on the axolotls. I had a lot of little projects to do at the moment. Day 70. I went to get mending on my shovel so I could repair it and it wouldn't break like my pickaxe. I should also probably get a better way of getting experience at the moment, because at the moment it's either trading with the villagers or going to get quartz. And they can get boring. I started mining out some of the dirt that I've spent ages placing so I could do the ice track. It would go all the way around the village, like a ring road. Day 71. I placed some water inside the circuit and it started to freeze, which is probably one of the benefits of being in this biome. I won't have to get compressed ice. I'll use all the stone I got to place a wall of stone all the way around the track so you can't fall off it on the boat. I was making good progress with the track. Day 72. It was quite a boring job because all I was doing was destroying dirt blocks and placing water, hoping it would turn to ice. I took a quick break from making the tracks to add some bushes to the area. I wanted to give it more of a professional look to the village, and it sort of works quite well. Day 73. I do like the bushes, however it does get very dark now, so I'm going to have to add some extra lights around the area. Ideally I put some glowstone in the floor, and it will light up the area. I did so. It works quite well actually. I then got back to working on the track after this little side project. Day 74. I went back to working on the snowman today, and ideally I want to make quite a few. A big one, a little one, and a few others. I want it to be like a family. I did need some blackstone though for the details of the snowman, so that'll be a job for tomorrow. Day 75. I headed to the Nether and gathered about 2 stacks of blackstone. His head was too small and it looks really weird, but it actually looks quite cute. He needs a carrot for his nose, so I made some orange wool and gave it to him. He's kind of adorable, I'm not gonna lie. The next thing I wanted to do was get a netherite ingot for my pickaxe, so this one won't break. Day 76. I traded with the villagers again for experience, and was pretty much fully repaired my remaining pickaxes. There was no more axolotl spawning, which was a bit disappointing. I headed down into the Nether and was struggling because there was a ton of lava pools. Day 77. I decided it might be a better idea to go loot a nearby bastion instead. I checked a seed map and headed over to the nearby bastion. I discovered a bunch of chests. I had some pretty good armor at this point, so I wasn't too bothered about the pigmen. They didn't really scare me, as long as I'm not stupid. I reached the main chests, however there wasn't much in there, just one ancient debris, which was a bit unfortunate. I checked the same seed map, and there was another bastion located pretty closely. I headed over and found the new one. There was only one ancient debris in this one as well. This was really unlucky for 2 bastions. And the third closest bastion was miles away, so there was no point even trying to go for it. Day 78. I spent so long in the Nether, I returned halfway through the day today. I dropped everything off and decided to go back to the original plan of mining Netherite myself. I got really lucky and found one straight away, but then didn't find one for the rest of the day. Day 79. I was still one short and decided to head back to the Nether to try and find the last one. I came back to the same area and luckily found a vein of 2. So that was my Netherite goal done with. Day 80. When I returned, I smelted all the Netherite and made a smithing table to combine it with my pickaxe. As part of the ice track, I wanted to make a soul sand lift, because part of the track was a lot higher than the rest, and I didn't feel like mining away a mountain. Day 81. I do need glowstone now, so the water in the elevator won't freeze. However, it does mean I will need some compressed ice as well, so the ice won't melt when exposed to glowstone. By the end of the day, I was about halfway done. It was pretty simple. All it does is push you up. Day 82. I started using some of the stone I got from mining the Axolotl pool. But I did a stone trim around the edge of the track. It made it look a lot better in my opinion. It looks a lot more professional. The rest of the day was spent finishing off mining the rest of the track. Day 83. I carried on with this task, and only took a break when I had to repair my shovel because it was about to break. Day 84. I was back at it again, adding a stone trim today. This part of the track looks weird on the map because it's diagonal, whereas the rest of the track is straight. This was going to be the last day working on the actual track, because I realised I need to fix the elevator. I do really like how this bridge looks though in the corner. Day 85. Fixing the elevator was a job for today. I basically didn't build it big enough. It needs to be raised one layer. And this is how it should work. I updated the map, which was going to show my problem with the track looking weird. I decided to fix all the paths as well as adding a proper axolotl pool for them somewhere for them to live. Day 86. I went to gather some glowstone for my axolotl pool. I had to use my axe to gather it because that was the only thing I had silk touch on now, since my pickaxe broke, so I'm an idiot. I then moved the axolotls in. There was a lot now, but the pond does look quite empty without any greenery. I want to try and find some seagrass. Day 87. I went on a search for a pond that was deep enough for seagrass to spawn. However, I didn't find any because I think every pond that was frozen, it can't spawn in, which is really unfortunate, so I can't actually end up getting any. I did a few more lights and paths around the area. I was basically just trying to make the village look nice, and somewhere that you'd want to stay, even if you wasn't in a massive cold desert. Day 88. The map looks a lot better now, and I noticed I had an abundance of gold. I'm going to go trade with the piglins. I also came across a baby piglin jockey that I didn't even know could spawn if I'm honest. I realised when editing this I could probably have kept the chicken as a pet and then that would have been a good way of getting eggs. Because otherwise I can't get it. But I was a bit more astonished at the time because I've never seen one before. Day 89. If I'm honest, this is probably the most boring part of Minecraft. I have about 5 stacks of gold to trade with the piglins and they're incredibly slow at doing it. I'll see you tomorrow. Day 90. I returned with my massive haul of loot. Nothing special, just some cool items. I decided to collect all my emeralds together and found I had 33 blocks worth. I could probably splash out and get some more books. I also made a jukebox and decided to replay my record, Pig Step. Now I'm not sure if it is actually copyrighted, I've heard a lot about it being copyrighted, so I decided to turn my music off so you can listen to whatever background song I have on. Day 91. I want to make some more snowman today. I'm not sure why, they're just quite a cool addition to the island. I made a similar one to the original one, but it looks a bit weird. I realised he's slightly smaller. His body is 1 block shorter than the other one. I did need some more blackstone though if I was going to be making new snowmen, because I didn't have enough for his hat. Day 92. I decided to make a bigger one, and that was the plan. It was going to look epic, and about halfway through I realised I was building it so the head would be 4 wide. If you imagine this, it wouldn't really work with 2 eyes, unfortunately. So I had to tear it all down, and build as if it was going to have a 5 wide head, so it'd work. Day 93. I enchanted yet another shovel today, purely because I'm lazy, and I don't want to get the XP to repair my old one. I went back to getting a ton of snow because I ran out, and got back to work on the snowman. Day 94. I kept working on the snowman and it's taking ages. However, he does look kinda cool. He looks more round than the others, but he does need additional stuff like the hat now. I got it done by the end of the day and he looks fairly good. Day 95. I did some adjusting to the snowman, and he's at that awkward size where he's not big enough to look good, but he's not small enough to get away with it, so he looks a bit strange, but I do like him. I did want to make his hat look bigger though, and by the end of the day, it did look a bit better. Day 96. I needed some more snow today. I wanted to add some snow around the area since it hadn't snowed in a long while. I'm pretty sure if I cover the glowstone in the snow, it'll still let light through. Hopefully anyway, I can't really tell since it's day. I'll be able to tell at night though. Day 97. I kept working on the farms because I wanted to try and gather as many emeralds as I can before the end of the video. I traded with his villagers and fully repaired my pickaxe, which was good. I was now up to about 44 emerald blocks worth, which is a good few stacks. Day 98. I'm going to go work on the fireworks show today because obviously I need a fireworks show. It can't be a 100 days video without a fireworks show. I made a ton of dispensers and set up the redstone, so it'll hopefully work pretty well. I did spend a little while getting dyes for the fireworks as well. Day 99. Today was the day I was going to make the fireworks. I went with 3 different colours, yellow, red and blue. I did a last check for the axolotls and there was a ton now inside the pool, which is really cool. I did have a problem though. I can't make cake because I don't have any eggs, and I realised if I did bring that chicken home I'd have probably been able to make cakes, but I didn't. Day 100. Before the fireworks show I went to get some celebration milk because that's all I could think of to get. I did offer the polar bear some milk, but he didn't really want it, I don't think. And I also lost a llama at some point, I think because he went on a lead, he despawned. But anyway, it's time for the fireworks show. Thank you guys so much for making it this far into the video. If you guys would like to help me out and hit that subscribe button, I'd massively appreciate it. And I'm also going to start streaming over on my Twitch a lot more regularly. If you guys would like to see that, maybe drop a follow. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day.